guys, welcome to the channel. This is Waga. We are going to continue building our SwiftUI Instagram clone, and what we're going to do today is we're going to work on our ability to edit the profile. And what we're going to do with the edit profile is, first, on the profile page we're going to add our bio. If you can remember from way back when we created our profile, I think that's one of the first videos. Let's go to the storage service. I believe we put it in the storage service so that you can save the image and the whatnot at the same time, right? The image and the user details at the same time, right? So on the Swift profile image, if you come down, you find that we set our bio to an empty string. Now we will create the ability to enter our bio, edit it, and present it on our profile page. It might not be the prettiest, but you can see my bio currently is set to "All my friends are heathens, don't you know?" Lyrics from a pretty nice song from back in the day. Okay, not too far back in the day, but yeah. So basically, we're going to do that, and we're going to input the ability of managing some basic features like the name. Like you see, this is the original password account. You can see the previous posts are put as password. Here we have password 2. We change the name to password 2, and we also change the image. You can see the image here is the old image, but this is the new image. Now when we create new posts, they'll have a link to the new image in our storage buckets, or whatever Firebase storage calls it. I think it's also called a storage bucket like AWS, and also the username. And the third thing we can correct is our bio, right? So those are the three things you could correct. You could make it more, but I just wanted to do these three, right? Not change the email, because it's rare for somebody to change the email, right? So to edit the profile, you click on the big button, the edit profile button, and our button is a bit off kilter, but yeah. But you have when you start off, we load the image from the backend, we load the password from the backend, we load the bio from the backend, and you can't tell what they are until if you come here and you move the word aside, you can see the we are using a text field. You couldn't do this with text editor. You can't say show up placeholder. So the placeholder is the username that you're supposed to enter, and I forgot to put a new what's it called, a new icon here, right? We'll do that. And also here, when you get rid of it, when you get rid of the text, you find that the placeholder will be bio, like so that you can enter your bio. And of course, if you want, you can select an image, choose a photo. We already know how that works, right? We've already done that for the post, and when we are creating the profile, and also when you are sending a post, right? So basically that. So okay, yeah, so this is what we're going to do, and yeah, and we can continue from there. Of course, we'll make a few changes. We'll give our button a bit of padding and whatnot, and make sure that it looks a bit better than this. This was just a rough look at what it should look like and the functionality. Of course, the changes will be effected next time you log in. So when you make the changes and you send them, they will clear out. But because our profile page doesn't have a listener, isn't listening constantly, it won't be changed until you log out. When you log out and come back, it will fetch the new information and display it, right? And if we can talk about why this is pointing to the old one, remember, with each post that is created, we go into the post and we set in a new image, right? We should figure out a way of cascading it, right, all across, so that we point to the new image when we change images. However, I don't think now is the best time to do that. We can do that in the future when we also implement the chat functionality, the notification functionality, and the timeline functionality, because those are three other places we need to work on. And after we work on them, we can figure out how we can cascade the changes, or how that can be done, or even if it can be done, or it will be too messy. I still haven't thought about that much, but yeah. So basically, that's what we're going to do today. And before we start, we need to make a small correction that I found out in a previous video. So we're going to make the correction, and then we're going to set about creating our edit profile functionality for the basic functions. That is the image, the username, and our bio. Okay, let's get to work. Now, what we could do is we could make a quick correction. We could go to our storage service, and if you notice, we have repeated this 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 lines like storage post ref dot put data twice, right? I didn't even realize I was doing it, but what we could do is we could get rid of it like so. And when we do that, we would need to remove one of the brackets like that, and we can save, and from there we can continue. This already has our save profile image that comes with our saving of the what's it called of the user's details to Firestore, the Firestore, and also access to the storage service. And we have a bunch of methods we already created here. We should create, or ideally we could create, our storage service in our method for editing, our edit profile, let's call it edit profile, in the same file, right? So it can take advantage of all these things here, right? And how we would do that is we would come here and say static func for the function, and it's going to be called edit profile, like so. And what we're going to have is we're going to take in a user ID, like so, of type string. We're also going to take a user name of type string, like so. We're also going to take the bio, which is going to be, you guessed it, of type string, like so. The image data is going to be of type, you guessed it, data. It's going to look a lot like this, the save photo. No, not the save post photo. The other one, the what's the other one called? It's only save post photo. No, save profile image. It's going to look like the save profile image. They're so close together I couldn't tell them apart. Yeah, so it's going to look a lot like this, right? So we're going to say image data, and metadata is going to be storage metadata, like so. I think we imported some stuff to handle that. We imported Firebase storage to handle that, so that's where it's coming from. And the next one is going to be storage profile image reference ref. This is going to be of type where the image is going to be stored, right? Storage reference. So I think by now you know what is going on. If you followed in the previous video, you have a clue on what is going on. And we have on error. On error is going to be same as this. So you could just copy this until the void. Okay, let's copy escaping until the void, like so. We can, okay, let's paste it. Why isn't it pasting? Okay, for some reason it's not pasting. Or we didn't copy. Okay, let's just type it out. It seems like it just wants us to type it out. We could say escaping, like so, underscore, and this is going to be error message, and the error message is going to be of type string, like so, and this is going to return absolutely nothing, like so. So basically this is going to be this, and then we can come here and put in our code block, right? And for our code block, let's copy this. Let's come here, copy this. We copy this line like so. Come here, paste it like that. And the next thing we need to do, we need to put in a brace here because of the line we just copied. Yeah, so it can match that. And after this, we have to copy the absolute string line. We could also copy the change request until return, right? So where does this one end? I think it ends. Does it end here? Okay. Let's copy this. Let's just copy it piece by piece. So we copy this storage profile. That it does the same thing. We could come here, put this, put the closing brace like that. Come here. So next we need to check if it's a change request and get the current user, right? And for that we could just copy this. Wait. Like so, right? So we could come here and copy all this code. Copy it, and paste it up here like so. And we're not yet using the, I think we need to add another, that so that the line, the error can go away. Okay, the next thing we need to do is on return, we count 1 2 3. The next thing we need to do is get the Firestore user ID, right? And get where the get user ID method we made in our service, right? So we count 1 2 3, put it there, copy like that. This is going to be a lot of copy paste, because if you want to know what this code does, it's exactly like what it does in Save Profile Image. So you can go back to when we were creating the profile, check it out. So that I want to condense the building of the video of everything into one video, from the, what's it called, from the Firebase code and the UI code into one video. And the quickest way to do this is not to go over code that I've already explained what it does, right? And so this is where the difference is, and that's what I'll explain, right? What you're going to have is now come here, the difference. Now after we do this, we're going to come here and say Firestore, the value that we created here, Firestore user ID, like so. We can use the method update data, and we only want to update 3 fields, the 3 fields we're interested in, right? So the 3 fields we are interested in, as you might have guessed, the first one is called profile image URL, like so. And this is going to be equal to the meta image URL from, if you can remember, from up here. It's somewhere up here. Do you have the meta image URL? If let meta image, yeah. So we get that, and we set that as a profile image URL, right? And the next thing we want to take care of is the username, and the username is going to be username, like so. And the third and final thing we want to take care of is the bio, and the bio is bio, like so. So basically that is our method, and we can continue from there. You need to make sure that the fields that you're updating, that they're, what is it called, they're exactly the same. Make sure you spell particularly profile image URL correctly, so that it goes into that field, right? Otherwise you could get an error. So make sure that is correct. And if you want to confirm your fields, you can of course go to your user model, and if you go to your user model, you'll find your profile image URL, you'll find your bio, and you'll find your username. So you'll find those 3. Those are the 3 we're going to correct. You could change the others. Okay, I don't think you can change your ID, but I know you can change email. I was looking at the method to change it yesterday. But yeah, make sure that those are correct, so that you can make the required changes. Is we need to let's move on to where we're going to be working on this page, right? The next thing we need to do is we need to make sure that we create the edit profile page, like you can see there. And one thing I can know is that we need to put a padding on this button so that it doesn't gobble up all the space. And I'm not sure this is necessary up here if we have this, but yeah, we'll figure it out. So what you could do is you could come to the views, like so, hit Command N, and in that view we're going to create a SwiftUI view, of course, next, and it's going to be called edit profile, like so. And we're going to hit edit profile, and we're going to come here, and the first thing we need to do is we need to create a bunch of state variables. You probably know what they will do, and I wouldn't begrudge you from, we could copy a lot of code from, because we're not treading new ground, right? We should just copy a lot of the code so that we don't have to repeat ourselves. So what we could do is, if you're interested in how this page actually works, go back to the sign up where we created the sign up view, right? And what we could do first is we need the username, so we could copy this line. Let's copy the username, like so. Copy, come back to, what's it called? It's called the edit profile, right? It's called the edit profile. Come back here, paste it here. Then we go to the sign in view. We need the environment object, right? So that we can get our user. And remember, we clumsily called it session.session to get our user. You could call it session.user if you want. Easy peasy. And another thing, we need the profile image and the picked image. And for that, we can come back to a sign up view, and we could get, I think we could get all this all the way to, yeah, we need all this. So all the way to the alert title. So copy this, everything except the password and the username. So we hit that, hit copy, come back to our edit profile, paste it. Again, I'm not going to go a lot into what this what this code does. You can look at it. You can look it up in the sign up view to know how it works. Right. So we have all that code. What is different? The difference is that we need another state variable, and this one is different from that page, and that is going to be at state private var, and this is going to be bio. It's going to be the bio one, right? The bio, and this is going to be of type string, and we're going to initialize it as an empty string, right? Okay, like that. And we can come, and now what else is different? We need to initialize a user, right, when we start, so that you can get this data from the backend, right? When you come here, when you click on edit profile, it doesn't give you a blank space, right? It allows you, it shows you the image that you have selected, but when you select an image, you can choose a photo, you can change it, and when you change it, it appears using the same mechanism we use in sign up view, right? So basically that. So the thing we need to do is to initialize the information and give the states an initial value, right? And for that, we need to come here and say init, like so, and we're going to pass in our session. Remember, this edit profile, we get there using the profile from the profile page, right? So we'll go to the profile page after we're done here, right? And we have user, which may or may not be there. And the reason it's optional is because remember, when we sign out, we don't have a user. If you remove the question mark, meaning it's not optional, and you try to sign out, you'll break the app, right? Because the user, the session.bio, which we're about to create, will be set as null, right? So here we put underscore bio because we want to change. We want it to start with a value or variable from our backend, and we could say initial view. The initial value. The value is going to be session dot session, and this is going to be optional, and this is going to be dot bio, and we're adding this because when we log out, we want to be able to log out. If you don't add this, it being an empty string, when you try to log out, it is going to complain and it's going to break the app, right? So we need to give it an empty string. You could remove it and try and see what happens. And we need to do the same to the username so that you can get the username that is in the backend, right? And we are going to say here state, and the initial value here is going to be session, and this is going to be dot username, like so, and we are going to get it from our backend, and it's going to be an empty string in case we sign out, right? And the next method we need is the method that we use to load the image. If you can remember that, when you come here and you choose a photo, let's choose a photo, right? Let's pick that one. When you choose the photo, this photo is the one which is shown, right? That method, if you can remember, I created it in sign up view, and there's no need to sort it out again. But yeah, so basically just go back to your sign up view, copy that, come back to the edit profile view, and paste it like so. Voila. And we can continue, right? And the next thing we can continue is we need an error check. We don't want you to send an empty string to the backend, right? We don't want you to send an empty string to the backend. And for that, we could, okay, let's just save it. For that, we could come here, and we already did that, so there's no need to do it again. Let's just come here, copy this func error check, and change a couple of things inside it. Error check, and come here, and come here, paste it like so. The error check, and what we want to error check is the username, not the email. We don't have an email, so we could just say username like so. So we have the username, trimming that, password that, and yeah, we can get rid of this one like so, and change the name of this to bio, right? So we change that into bio, and basically we have that. Okay, so we have username, bio, image, data, right? And yeah, so basically it works the same like it does work in the other side. The only difference here is that this one starts off with a loaded image, right? We already load our image when our user starts, right? Of course, there's an error. If you can think about it, there's an error we can create that I'm not going to look at right now. We're going to deal with it later. If you figure out the error, just type it in the comment section. That can be your challenge for this video. And another thing I noticed, SwiftUI is not very popular on this channel. Most users are into Flutter compared to SwiftUI. I guess more people have access to Macs, Linux, and Windows than just Macs. Yeah, but we're working on that and trying to make sure that everything is going swimmingly. Okay, so the next thing we need to do is we need to come back to our sign up view. No need to create a new method. And what we want is the clear method, right? When you send everything, it just clears up, right? So we come here, come back here, paste the clear, and we want to clear the bio. The username, there is no password, so we can get rid of that. And we want image data and profile image. And when you send it off, the profile image is going to be person.circle when you send it out. When you send the data to Firebase, right? And okay. Now the next thing, we need a function. We could copy the function, no need to type it all up from scratch, right? So we could copy this function. It's gonna look a bit like this one, a bit, not very much so. And we could come here to clear, and you notice we're not setting up an edit profile service because I felt it was a really small thing rather than a big one. So the first thing is we want to make sure that the error check is, did we create the, yeah, the error check is run, so we don't need this. After the error check, we could come here and we could get rid of the alt service, right? We don't have an alt service here. And after the error check, we could get the user ID first so that we can send the data. We could say guard let user ID, and the user ID is going to be got from auth.auth, and we're just going to get the current user. Why isn't it helping me? Current user, why isn't it helping me? I have a feeling I forgot to bring in Firebase. Okay, we need Firebase. So we come here and we say import Firebase, like so. And we import Firebase, and now we can continue with our typing. And after the UID, what we want is the else, in this case, else, and we're just going to return, right? We could come here and say return, like so. And then after this, we want to get the storage profile user ID, right? And we could say let storage, what do we call it? Storage profile, capital P, has capitalized it. So storage profile user. Remember, we need to use this, and to get access to it, we need to reach to the storage service, and we say storage. I believe there's a method we created when we were working on the storage service, and this is going to be .storage profile, and this one takes a user ID. So we say we take this method, and it's going to be take a user ID. We created this method, I think, when we were building our profile in the very first videos. We could visit it, and the storage profile user ID. Where is it? I think it's up here. So storage profile ID here, like so. It has a storage reference. It returns a storage reference, right? And that's what we're going to do. And we come back to our edit profile. So it's going to be storage profile ID. Okay, fine. It's going to return a storage reference. Right, and the next thing we need to do is say let metadata let metadata equals, and this is going to be storage metadata, like so. And we're going to come here and say metadata. The content type we want to deal with is, you could put it MP4, right? But we want content type, and the content type is going to be, you guessed it, image JPG, like so, JPEG. And after that, we're now going to create the method we just created a while back. We're going to call it, we're going to say storage service, and this is going to be edit profile, and this one is going to take a user ID, and the user ID in question is going to be user ID, and the username is going to be username, and the bio is going to be bio, like so. The image data is going to be, let's just tab it, image data. The metadata is going to be metadata. The storage profile, blah blah blah, it's going to be storage profile user ID, like so. And then on error, we're just going to come here and we could say on error we're going to have the error message. It's going to be a contextual closer, and we're going to say self dot error, and this is going to be the error message, like so. And we're going to say self dot showing alert, and we're going to set this to be true. And after that, we're just going to come here and say return, like this. And after this, we could come down here and we're going to say self dot clear, like so, right? And after that, we can now come to our UI stuff. So this is going to be, we could get rid of our preview because it's going to complain. And this is going to be our method. I hope everything is as it should be. And we can now come and start working on our view. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. What we want to do is come to where we can put our views. And the first thing we want to do is put in a scroll view. Okay, we don't really need a scroll view, but let's just put it. We could put a VStack here, and give it a bit of spacing. We could say okay, not spacing, and the spacing is going to be 20, like so. And the code here we're going to have is going to be text, and we could say edit profile, like so. And we want it to be large, so we could say dot font, and this is going to be dot large title, like so. But we have it here and we have it here. I'm not sure it's, maybe we could put the user's, what's it called, name, or rather old name, before editing here, up here. Okay, fine, we could continue. Let's say after that we could have a VStack like so. And in our VStack we're going to have a group. We're going to group these two together, right? And in the group we okay, actually the group is not for that. The group is let's get rid of the group and just copy. The group is for the image. So we could come here, we could go to the sign up view, and what we could do is we could go down here and copy the group here, right, in the sign up view, right, for the image. So it's basically the same code to show what to show, and also have access to the action sheet, if you can remember that, right, how we did the action sheet. We'll do it again though. So we have the group here, but there's a slight difference. Instead of the starting image being the person.circle.fill, we can get it from, we first need to import it, right? We can get it from the backend, right? And we need to import our package, and the package is called, it has a weird name, it's called SDWeb. Yeah, this one, image SwiftUI, that one. So when we get that, we could come down here now, and instead of a system name of person.circle.fill, we could get it, we could make it, instead of that, we could make it we could come here and get rid of the system name. Actually, we don't need a system name. We could say, do we even need the image? No, we don't need. We could come here and what we have here is web image, like so, and for our URL is going to be URL, and inside it we are going to have a string, and the string in question is going to be from the session, and remember called our user session, so we could call it session.session, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a user, and we're going to say dot profile image URL, like so, and pretty sure there's going to be something here, so like that, right? And you know about the action sheet, like so, and we are going to come to the end of the group. Where does the group end? And I guess the end of the VStack actually, and here we're going to use a couple of form fields. If you can remember, I created a form field here and it takes a bunch of things, and yeah, that's what we're going to look at. And how we're going to do it is we're going to create two form fields. At the end of the VStack, we're going to come here and say form field, like so, and the form field takes a bunch of things, and here it can be, the value is going to be username. The first one is going to be username. We could say username. The icon is going to be person.fill. The placeholder is going to be username. I think I already showed that, username. And after that, we're going to have the second form field, and we could say, we could just copy this, copy it, copy, come down here, paste, like so. And this is going to be the we're going to bind it to bio, like so, bio, like so. Okay, bio. And the icon, now I haven't decided upon an icon, so let me just think about it and come back. I decided to use the book.fill. You could pick this app is available, it's called SF Symbols. It's available on the App Store. You could pick it, and we are going to use the book.fill, right, for our bio. Pick something adequate or that is representative of the bio. And here we could come here and say book.fill. The placeholder in question, okay, book.fill, like so. And the placeholder in question is going to be bio, like so, bio, right? And we can continue from there. The next thing we need to do is we need to put in place our button, right? And after that, we could come here and we could say button, like so. And the button needs an action, right? The action, of course, is just going to call our edit, like so. And in it, okay, what do we call our function? Oh, we actually called it sign up. It should be called edit. My bad. Edit. It should be called edit, like that, right? So we could come here in the button, and what we want is a text. The text is going to be edit, like so, and the font is going to be .title, and we need a modifier. The modifier is going to be the button modifiers that we created. I think it was either the first or the second videos, I'm not exactly sure. And we're going to connect it to an alert, so we could come here and we say, instead of writing this code, let's go back to our sign up view. We did a lot of work here and it should pay off, right? So our sign up view ends here, right? So we could come here, copy the sign up view, copy like so, come to our button and paste this, like so, right? And I think we need to give our button a bit of padding, right? So we could come here and say padding so that it doesn't stick to the ends. We'll give it some padding around it, and the next thing we need to do is, after the alert, we need the line text. Okay, we need the line here informing the user that the changes will not be effected immediately. We could say changes will be effected the next time you log in, like so, right? And basically that. And after that, we can come here on our VStack, and actually it should be on our scroll view, right? And we can put a navigation bar title, navigation title, right? And we could say session and what's it going to be? It's going to be dot username, like so, right? And that's going to be our username, and we can force unwrap it. Be sure it's going to be something. And after that we need the sheet, so we could get the sheet in sign up view, and this is where it's going to be, like so. And basically copy all this, the sheet, copy it, put it on the scroll view, copy, hit copy, save, come here, come under navigation bar, paste that, and it should work the same, more or less. I think we have gone over this code when we were building the image picker. I spent a good deal of time building the image picker, and it should work, right? So basically that. Now we can continue, we can put the finishing touches on this. So is we need to go to the profile page, and when you go to the profile page, what we could do in the profile page is we could first thing we need to do is get a private variable, because to use in the button, we've done this before, so I'm guessing this should be comfortable for you. So we could just say state private var, and we say is link active, right? So that we can navigate to our recently created edit profile page, and we could say false, like so. And after that we could put a vstack, and the vstack will come after the profile header. Yeah, you can see it here, all my friends are heathens. And like that we could come here and have a vstack, like so. And the vstack, we are going to have an alignment, and this is going to be dot leading, like so. And we're going to come here and we are going to say have a text, and the text is going to be session dot session, and we're going to just include the bio from the backend, and this so that we can log out, right, when the user becomes nil. And we are going to use the font. The font we want to use is going to be dot headline. It's a bit big, you can see, and we want to limit our line to 1, right? Line limit, and we want 1, so you can't go more than 1 line, right? The text doesn't wrap. So we have 1 line limit. If you can't explain who you are in 1 line limit, you'll get ellipses, right? So basically that. And next thing we need to do is we need to come to our button, which will govern how we navigate. And we could, when we click it, set the self.is link active. We could set it to true when you click the button, right? And we need to wrap the button in a navigation link, right? So it needs to be a navigation link, like so, link, and it will take a destination, and we can wrap the entire button, even the padding. And the destination, we could say the destination is going to be edit profile, like so. The edit profile expects us to pass some things into it, and the session is going to be optional user, and this is going to be self dot session dot session, like we did when we were creating the profile header. If you can remember how I did the profile header, it's basically the same, right? And we are going, after that we're going to set the is active property. We could say is active, and this is going to be bound to the is link active, like so. So basically that. And looks like everything is as it should be, so we can now try out things. We can run our app, hit the run button, give it a second, hopefully everything works, and it should come to our main page, and we should go to our profile page, and we should see our edit button, and we can see our bio is coming in from the backend. And the first thing we need to do is try to log out and see if we get an error, and we can log out, so everything is as it should be, and no conflicts. And we could say password at gmail.com, and this is going to be password, because when the user sets to nil, some of those values that we have said the user will never be nil complain, right? and that's why we need to check whether we can log out. And the next thing we need to do is we need to go to our edit profile, and we hit it, and we see our first problem is that our image is too small. When we were copying the code, we forgot to tweak it a bit, right? So that's what we're going to do. And I don't know what size I put it at originally, so I think I did 200. So we could come to the edit profile like so, and okay, 200. Oh yeah, when it loads the image, it's 100. It should be 200 like so. We can save that, come back, and we get our name is coming back, right? Our name, our username, and our bio are coming back, so we can change them, right? And we can hit edit profile, and we come here and we get our name, password 2, right? Edit profile, our current image, our name. All my friends are heathens, ... right? So let's try and change it. We don't like this image. We hit choose a photo, and we should pick it. Let's make it this, and we hit choose like so. And after that, we could come here, change that, and we say I'm a reformed heathen. We can say I am a reformed heathen. I'm no longer heathen, and we can change our name back to password like so. And we can hit edit, and it should clear and send out. We should see the image here, right, of the password, right, of the person.fill or something. So we hit that, we get password.fill. I think it has been sent back, and it says changes will be affected next time you log in. So if we check, our name should be password now. We go back here, we see password 2, right? We have to log out, and we come back and we say password at gmail.com, and password is password, and now our name should be password, right? And we come back here, we should see password, and I am a reformed heathen, and our image arrives. And we come to our edit profile, we see our image, password, I am a reformed heathen, and edit profile, and our name is now password. Boom, we have done what we set out to do. Of course, the issue that remains is that, you see, our name is still password because we switched it back from password 2, but you see the image is different. So we could think of cascading all the changes all over, but I don't think we should do that right now because we have not created the images. What's it called? We need to create the messages first, and the notifications, and the timeline, and after we do those 3, we can cascade our changes. So basically that. So our big button, the edit profile button, works, and we can edit our profile. A few minor changes like change the password and the image, but yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel, give this video a big like, leave a comment in the comment section. I remember I gave you a challenge in this video of figuring out one possible mistake that could happen in the edit profile page, right? That we have not accounted for. We'll think about it in the future and try and solve it. Okay, thank you for watching the channel. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video.